Are we live? Is this a live kind of Sunday thing that we're doing here? Crazy. We are live and unusual since it's totally not the usual schedule. What am I doing here? What are you guys doing here? I hope everybody is having a lovely Easter, a lovely Sunday, wherever you are and however you find yourself. Sonia is in the house. Jeff is here. Good to see you. Allison is here. Kid Curry is here. Spot is here. Rocky Mountain Bear is also here. Oh my gosh, Manny's here. Wow, kids are in the house. I love it. Good to see you all. Welcome to this special edition of liveliness on a Sunday over here at the Micro Zone. Thought we would play around a little bit with a fossil. So in the very, very beginning of the live, you saw the slideshow. That just happened. That is a Kemmerer fossil that I was playing with nary an hour ago and split the fossil. It had a bad fracture. We're going to go ahead and watch that in real time, and you guys can sit in and MST3K that. You'll see what went right and what went wrong, and we can talk about it because I know a lot of you guys actually ordered from Theo Kellison some of your own of the Kemmerer fossils and are going to be embarking on this journey. So I think that this is going to be kind of part experience, part tutorial, a bit of a mind jam where we can all riff back and forth on what it is that we like and what's not going right with these things. We've got Boot in the house. Tiger Eye is here. Good to see you. Hey, and Ken is as well. Was that a cream cheese spreader? I think it would be a great cream cheese spreader. It's right behind me, isn't it? So this is, I believe it is for spackle and paint and that sort of thing, but by gumption, you can go ahead and use it any which way that you find is the good way to use your cream cheese spreader. I mean, I think that it would work great with the fossils. I just when you are in Kemmerer, they give you a tool that is very much like this, but it is a lot harder, and yet you've got this wonderful thin point on it, and you could definitely hurt yourself with it. And you're just cracking the rock all day when you're in the quarry. And so back home, you can use a screwdriver, you can use a butter knife, you can use a cream cheese spreader, just depending on how whoever else in your household feels about that. And then we've got other tools, like I just thought spacklers are really nice for cleaving this stuff too, because they've got that thin blade to them, and yet not so rigid that you get bad cracks, hopefully, but that's just not always putty knife, says Kid Curry. Spackle thing, putty knife. Yep. We all have a good vernacular here, right? Ken was gifted one of those and just made my first exploratory pokes today. Fantastic, Ken. Well, this is obviously for you. And, you can go ahead and pitch your experience back in to the stew here. This is mental stew that we're going to be having. We'll steep it and we'll let it congeal and see how much wise we can all come up with together. Vicky's in the house cooking dinner but watching. So good to see you. Vicky and Jeff put on such a great live earlier. Everybody was panicking about Kyle not going live for the whole weekend. Like, what are we gonna do? And so it was really great to have both Theo Kellison's Makers Challenge video premiere yesterday, along with Ma'am Lambo's Makers Challenge premiere yesterday as well. So the gang got to get together, hang out and chat, and then see just incredible makers challenges emerge before our very eyes. But then today, I know that I think I saw him in the house earlier, even Josh Journey's Tomcat was live for a little bit. And then we had like octopus red waving. Hello, octopus. Um, so easily distracted. So then Jeff and Vicky got on and we're cutting rocks live. That was super cool. Great hangout. Thank you guys so much for doing that. That was super entertaining. They gave away some rocks, which was so generous. And congratulations to the winners who were gifted some rocks from the Jeff and Vicky show. So loving, loving, loving the community for filling in the gaps and keeping us all entertained. And I think I was seeing murmurs, and if Allison is still here, I think that she was threatening to come on after me, which would be so cool. Let's go ahead and like chain the lives together. We got everybody's back. Spot, I can't remember if I said hi to you, so hey. And Al Gold Prospecting is also in the house. Hey. And also some great lives coming out of that neck of the woods. Hopefully seeing another one soon. Let us know in the chat, Al Gold, if you're going to be coming on a live stream. That was super fun watching you do that, Opal. And it looks like we have Rufochus Rooted Rockhound still lurking around. Awesome. And I think even Rufo was talking about the potential of going live as well. So we could have some more entertainment for the rest of the evening. And so it looks like, yeah, Allison is going live later. Nothing fancy, just doing some maintenance in the meteorite cabinet. Well, that sounds like a super fun time. Let's all play in the cabinet with Allison. Check out some meteorites, all of the space wonderfulness. Soul Adventurist is in the house. Good to see you, Cheryl. Thank you for coming. And I think she was one of the winners of one of Jeff's rocks. So as I was talking about just a second ago, we're going to be going over the Kemmerer. I mean, you can still see the dust from my little work area over there on my railroad track anvil. And boy, if you guys did receive a Kemmerer fossil, or if you're going to be getting one, or if you're going to Kemmerer, it is some of the weirdest desiccate, like, uh, super dry, powdery, sandy stuff that it just makes you feel so gritty when you're done. And so I can't wait to do the cleanup after all of this. I did a lot of it outside, and it was a good time. And then, so we're going to go over the tools that you can use, and a lot of them are household items. And then there's things that are specialized that you can get into as well. And I thought I would, like, as people are landing the baby anvil. I know, isn't it cute? I've even got a smaller anvil right next to my dapping set there. There's like right there is a jewelry anvil that's like a tiny little it reminds me of like a Wile E. Coyote award. This is this tiny little thing. Dink. So I figured while people are landing, I did have a chance to get some cabbing done. And I do a different kind of cabbing than a lot of people do. And the objective is to make pieces for jewelry. Whereas a lot of times when people will do their they'll do their cabbing so that they have big pieces that are more items that are either you've got a cool palm stone, or you have a piece that's representative of the kind of material that it is. Whereas I like doing the free form style cabochons, but they are with the objective of specifically making jewelry out of. And so I thought I would just these literally just came off of if I'll just do this really quick. Uh, they like this is still ice cold from coming out of the freezer, and so you dop with the green wax, and then you put it in the freezer, and they all like kind of break off of the freezer. And so I just kind of wanted to show you what a day sitting at my cab machine is like, as far as the spoils therein. I guess that was the right way. So I made some earring pairs, and they need to be smaller. And so, factoid number one is when I'm making the stuff, it wants to be sweet and interesting to look at, but then at the same time they have to be wearable. And so not too big unless you are making like a belt buckle or something like that. And so I'll go over what materials we have, and I can't get that close because my phone, when it's in this mode, like just a camera mode, it doesn't do the zoom. So I'm gonna work that out by hopefully getting a nice camera so that I can have like the second camera be something a little bit more high zoot than what I've got right now. I think I did say Brian, a hi to Brian already, but he's asking, is it Friday night already? I know I'm going to throw everybody off in a big way. And Rufotris says, I have a video ready to premiere, just need to choose a time, probably let it come out tonight. Well, that's going to be super fun. So everybody keep an eye out for Rufotris Rooted Rock Hounds premiere, which should be happening later tonight. And then, like I said, we've got Allison going live after this one so that we can play in her meteorite cabinet. And Tomcat Josh is here from his journeys. Sounded like he was getting on down the road earlier today, and so it's great. And thank you, Boot, for lacking my shapes. I don't typically do anything calibrated if I can help it. I like the different shapes and sizes. And so what I'm going to start off with here, since Jeff is in the house, this is some of the Kentucky fried rock. And what I decided to do with this particular one is I kind of got started on a tear drop design. And then I took a left turn in Kentucky, and I decided to leave the rind, that botryoidal rind on the left-hand side, which has some really nice greens in it. And then it's just sprayed with this like beautiful, what looks like maybe iron inclusion. And what was really, really trippy about this, and he loves the little dots that are in there, all those fun little oolitic bits. If you guys can see what almost looks like feathers that kind of sweep from the very top, and then they end right there, and then there's another one, and there's another one, and you can see how it lines and goes back up the stone, kind of going up and down the stone. Well, that is actually kind of a dead giveaway about what this might be, or that it's got an inclusion of content of something that's really interesting. And what it is that we have a cleavage plane. Like, it feels like it's got the same kind of cleavage plane as a feldspar. And so it actually, the cleavage plane ends on the surface. You can see the little like little divots on where that cleavage plane ends. I just couldn't polish that because that's where the cleavage plane ends. And then it is chatoyant in that cleavage area. And so Kentucky Fried Rabbit. Oh no. um, and so again, I thought that this was really, really interesting material in that it's not just an agate, and it's not just a jasper. It's got this incredible uh, cleavage plane that makes it have like a chatoyancy to it. And so that was really, really neat. So where did Jeff go? Thank you, Jeff, for sharing this material with me. I'm like looking to see if like Jenny says no eating bunnies. I know, right? My little white bunny would be upset about that. My studio bunny, the one that you guys saw in the beginning of the Makers Challenge video. And so um traumatized by rabbit stew as a kid. Oh no, Manny's had it. Spot. Many cab trying get the most cabs out of the material and relying on the happy accident for the artistic aspect of the jewelry. Sounds like you're reverse the polarity, cab to the right, art, or yeah, cab to get the art right first. Yeah, Spot. Man, I'm sorry. I like I can read, I promise. But I definitely feel like I'll find a part of the stone that I want to isolate, and then I start trying to feel around about how it wants to present itself and the shape of maybe what is pretty that's happening inside it, and how to express that, and then of course still be able to create a piece of jewelry with it. Um, does it have planes in different directions? I do feel like it does, Ken. I just played with this one piece and, it just presented with this crazy axis that I just couldn't get away from. And obviously, it makes it super neat because it's got the chatoyancy to it, kind of like Labradorite or, moonstone. But this being opaque, it feels more like a not quite opaque. It's not totally opaque. I don't have a light sitting around here. For shame. Um, but yeah, like when you uplight it, you can definitely see through it. So it's almost like it's translucent like a chalcedony, but it's got this cleavage. And so I'm gonna have to play with it more to see exactly how much if it's like two perfect cleavages or how it works. Good question, Ken. And Ken also has friends in Colorado who do fried rabbit every Easter. Oh my goodness. Um, and Boot is saying I shape most of mine as I cut, no predetermined shape on and on others I look and see it. And so yeah, like I like the happenstance thing too, Boot. And so I think that that's cool. There's not a wrong way to go about it. Yeah, yeah. So Jeff is in the house. And so, yeah, I really like how the material turns out. And that's just one piece. And so I can't wait to get to some of the others. But I wonder, Jeff, have you talked to anybody who has found it to have like that strange cleavage plane situation where you're getting a directional sheen like you would out of a piece of feldspar. I'm very interested to know what other people have found. And I think Allison has also worked with it before. So I would love to hear Allison weigh in on this as well. Gator Sky Exploration is here in the house. Hello, folks. Glad to be here. Rock Hunter, Stoneworker, and Art is here. And so Gator Sky Exploration, you have found your tribe because that's what you just landed yourself in a whole bunch of them. So welcome in and so good to see you. Thank you for joining us. Lisa's sorry that she's late. Outside in the sun, boy howdy. I know I just came back inside from it and I was having a hard time talking about cleavage planes. I was really having a hard time coming back in from being outside. It was so good. And let's see, I feel like Jenny likes the blue. Yeah, it is really very pretty. And it is a good way to do that, Boot. She also says, let the stone talk to you. Yeah, exactly, off your raka. Now, before I had a saw, I used to break my stones to get the different shapes. And I was so in love with that because the actual lattice of the stone was the dictator of how the shape of the stone was going to be. And then I just polished it on my flat lap as per that break, just doing honor to the characteristic of the stone and what it wanted to be like. And I really, really enjoyed doing it that way. Um, Nice. And my style totally changed when your neurospiciness kicked in. That's what you call it, right? I love it. Thank you, Boot. Um, Everybody's saying hi to everybody, and that opal guy is in the house. Good to see you. This is actually some Oregon opal right here. And it is that color. Again, you guys saw through my video. I apologize for my nails. Like, I swear I do them, and then 2 seconds later, everything's like worn off of at least the tips because lapidary. And so I am in love with this. I'm going to sneak up on and see like how close I can get it because there's some really neat. It almost looks like Hampton Butte petrified wood uh, with the way that it's swirly. It almost looks like that limb cast material that you find at Hampton Butte. Just it's the opal, and this thing like polished like so like, oh my gosh, it was like butter. That's what I'm trying to say. It was such a pleasure. And so again, the character and what the design of what was kind of going on for the stone almost looks like a piece of Irish Spring soap now. Doesn't it? Now that I'm looking at it, like I said, it just came off the dop. And so I'm like, oh, it looks like soap a little bit. Who did I just see? Oh, so Allison is saying no flashes in your pieces. Interesting. I wonder. Okay, so I can't wait to go through more of the material and see if I've got more surprises or if this was like a one-off surprise. And thanks for coming by, Al Gold. Really good to have you here. Oh, yes, I did see somebody new. Awake Loner is in the house. And thank you so much for uh, coming. Yeah. So, Jenny, a lot of times the grouping happens because I'm looking at some stones that feel like they're going to play well together. And so Benjamin is in the house. Good to see you, and thank you so much for the beautiful cabs comment. Really appreciate it. You know how it is that you get going and you're just in an adoring state of happiness like the whole time you're playing. And so yeah, I'm just getting to know these guys because like I said, they just came off the dops, and so we're experiencing it together. Like, I was going to go straight into the fish, and I'm like, but let's look at these first because I haven't had a chance to look at them yet. And so Ken, you should probably and I don't mean the spicy one, although I'm sure that Ken from Florida is also very spicy, but this is a piece of the Utah stuff. I keep on forgetting what the Utah stuff is. And one of these days, I promise I will go ahead and remember. But this is like so cool and ornate. I'm in love with it. And it's got these like super hot colors of yellow, like just like obnoxious yellow through like beautiful golds and oranges, salmon pinks into reds, and into deep maroon pockets, as you can kind of see. Like, it's all kind of going on in this one. And then almost like a mouth, you see this wonderful botryoidal seam there that is edged, just perfectly like decorated like a doily of agate, like some clear agate going through there. And so this is some kind of a Jasper, I think. Oh, I'm way behind in the comments. Um, let's see. And Jeff was saying no, he hasn't either. Interesting. Translucent chalcedony that was mostly blue with hints of red. Nice. Okay. Well, I have something really interesting. And Jeff, you're getting that cab. That's going in your box. And so, Vicky can wire wrap it or whatever you guys want to do. But you get that one. And so you can see what this strange animal is that is doing weird things out here in Oregon, all the way from Kentucky. So Jenny really liked that opal. Nice, thank you. Okay, I'm so behind. I hate it when your cursor decides to stick, to one part of the chat. So you just don't think that it's moving, and you're like, okay, fine. They're just watching, and then you guys are like way like minutes ahead. All right, so this is definitely not carnelian gator sky exploration unless you were answering somebody else's. If Ken is still in the house, he could tell me. But it's a kind of like a Jasper agate stuff from Utah that he did send me some lumps of that I am in love with. I just knew before I even started getting into it that it was going to be a serious love affair. And so we've got these guys are the same material. You can see there's a little bit of like actually green, and then the one on the left hand side gets pretty maroon, and then it has that pretty kind of salmon pink, and then the one on the right has more of the yellow. And it's just the variety in this one kind of material is like pretty all over the place, and I love it. And so these guys all go together, and so that'll be a set for some jewelry that I end up planning. It was worth saying twice, Lisa, where is the first time? And I didn't see even the second time. So oh, he already put it in the chat. See, I'm sorry, I was way, way up. Remember, I like had to scroll through a bunch of it because I was like 5 minutes behind or something. And so you guys are like, thanks for being patient. You guys know how it is. This stuff goes by or goes. Yeah, it just goes by so fast. And then I'm a few miles from Utah. Very cool, Gator Sky. I mean, you're probably pretty darn close to this neat stuff then. This is for the joy of Easter day, we've got some Thunderegg material. This is actually from the another slice from the same egg that ended up in the Maker's Challenge piece. You can see this part right here is just on down that druzy seam just a little ways. Now the green is wax left over from the dop, which I'm going to have to flick off with an X-Acto knife and get rid of that's in, that hit the druzy. But this was actually one of the pieces that was maybe going to end up in that reef piece, but I didn't like it as much as the one that had like that crazy red, underwater bird flying through it. That was so cool. And so it's still a really, really cool cab, and it is from the Friday bed, Richardson's Rock Ranch Thunderegg. And so I'll go ahead and polish the back of it and put that into something. But it's got some really, really neat little reef bits in it. One of the things that happens in the Friday bed, see how close how the camera will or will not pick this up. Is that it does kind of like tube agate, moss agate, plume agate, like all the above. There was some crazy, crazy mineral and chemistry going on in the Pride bed. And so really, really neat stuff. You rock at keeping up with the chat. Oh, thank you, Jenny. It's never good enough. But I'm trying. And so yeah, I just like, you guys are just so awesome for shouting at me when I don't get it. It happens way too often. So here is another knockoff of that same one. And see, like that's big by my standards. You saw how big the piece of jewelry ended up that had the cab in it that was smaller than that one. I mean, and so that turned out to be a pretty gargantuan sized piece of jewelry. And so a lot of times, you know, the cabs need to be on the small side if you're going to get a couple stones in and have something that's still dainty enough that it isn't just like a massive statement piece, which I love making massive statement pieces. But for, you know, the everyday wearers, like a lot of times people want something that's a little bit more of a truffle and kind of on the small side. But you can see the suspended world in that one. Some more of the tubes, definitely reef like, got to love it. Those are really cool backlit, as you saw in the video. Natural edge cabs are the best. I happen to agree with you, Brian. I am always so delighted when I get a cut, and a lot of folks that do lapidary, they don't like it when you know, an edge does something like this. Where am I? You know, where you've got like some of the rind on it, or the, you know, you cut something open and then there's a great big druzy pocket. Well, though I have to work all my cabs around it, I usually make sure that the cab will include some of the druzy pocket. I love that. So Spot wants to message, wants I want the message from the natural break. I keep telling Kyle that I'd rather have the pieces than have it glued back together. Ah, yeah, I hear that. Give the stone time to speak, can always glue it later if one must. Yeah, you know, or do the kitsugi, I think is the thing to say. Um, so yeah, uh, I that I do love seeing that, and it uh it's to me it's part of the natural character of the stone. And so those are the Thunderegg pieces, and then we have some Missouri stuff that we got from uh Dustin. And yeah, let's see if we can't get, look at that. It's like crazy lace from Missouri. I just love that. And so you can see some macro crystalline quartz there up at the top. And then it gets like teeny tiny in between those layers of the chalcedony or jasper or whatever the colors are these sparkling layers of more kind of druzy quartz. And so I am so in love with that. That is so wild. And again, natural edge. Just love it. I mean, what I'm thinking for a piece like this would be to tuck a teeny weeny sunstone that's faceted like down here, you know. And so it's kind of like the mountain with like a gem that's still, you know, buried underneath the mountain or something like that. So yeah, love that one. That, yeah. And so when I got the cut, I just, that already was presenting. Thank you, Kintsugi. Thank you, Ken. He's there being my thesaurus. And so is there a Mexico, Missouri? Hey, squirrel, welcome in. I don't know, but that does feel like Laguna, doesn't it? It's Laguna, Missouri. Yeah, that stuff turned out so amazing. I will be definitely cutting and polishing some more of that. Yeah, it's just really good. And so here's another piece, and this one again, it has that same really glittering layer, and actually you can see in the face of the polish where that macro quartz just doesn't come to a complete polish. You've got the little divots from, you know, the cleaving of those little points. This one harder, there we go. So again, some really nice color in there, and I really wanna make a multi-stone piece with this one. So, pairing things with the angles, maybe 4 stones, 1 on the top, 1 at the bottom, or 2 at the bottom, and it itself, and that would be either like a pendant or a bracelet style or something like that. But by the time I'm done playing with the stone for the period of time that it's being um, worked, I'm usually about ready to throw it into some metal. And so I'm very, very excited for both of those pieces to get on with doing some jewelry art. Um, and Manny says, I love the smaller cabs and I am forever collecting the offcuts, yes, from other members of my gem club. Yeah, that is really pretty stuff for sure, Jeff. And yeah, it reminds you of an arrowhead. Yeah, the first one, yeah, for sure. Um, and Karen, I have tons of crazy lace you could do magic with. Yes, Brian. Okay, so we said we were going to talk about a box. And so, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. We'll have to go back and forth on the like an email or something like that, or PM me over on the Discord, and we can chat about what needs to go into that box because I'm super duper game on that. That would be so much fun. Thank you, Tomcat, and yeah. Ken is a thesaurus for the rest of us. It's kind of like a festivus. Cheers to that. I got a silver mug today, with some go-go juice in it because today has been slow. So everybody hydrate real quick, and we're almost done with these rocks, and then we'll get into the fish. Better than bunnies, better than fried bunnies. We'll have some fish that was fried a long time ago. Thank you, Lisa. And so moving right along, chickadung, chickadung. Oh, wait, there's one more piece of thunder. And this is like a little, maybe a ring stone or something like that. Agate is great for ring stones. And I usually pair them with something else. And so this one would be really fun to do, like um, half and then another, maybe smaller semicircle, half of something else. And so I like doing little setups like that. But this guy, I don't know, nope, you can't see it with from the glare. I can't line up the glare to show off. There's a druzy pocket right at the top of it. And so, even for these little pieces that Manny was just talking about, getting the offcuts from other people. I mean, heck yeah, look at you've got all these like little guys that you can play with, and they want to play well with other stones. And so instead of just doing one big stone as the superstar, then you can start, putting these really, unique combinations together, and intarsia, which is one of my next things that I can't wait to do. I've had a lot of fun with intarsia in the past, and for some reason, it just comes and goes with me. And well, I've got the bug hard to get into some more of it. Let's see who's got the poll. Oh, right. Sorry, Jeff. That took me a second. Yeah. For the Festivus. Okay, so Brian's got your back. And Blind Squirrel just got back from fishing this afternoon. Well, we've got more fish for you. Oh no, and Ken's got allergies. I'm sorry. Yeah, Intarsia, woohoo. Manny, yeah, so cool that put some together too. We all need to play. Uh, and Jared was really excited about, and this was like a couple years ago. He went to one of the rock shows, and his very, very favorite of the booths at the rock show, not like vendor booth, but the show part where the club will put all of those little booth boxes, of presentation together. He loved this one that had like all of these like intricately made intarsia pieces that were like frames for the different kind of art pieces that the stones were. And so I'm not at all surprised that he's doing that. Was that in his Saturday night special? Because it seems like I saw a thumbnail go by with some picture Jasper, and I'm wondering, you can go ahead and answer here, and then everybody can run over there and go watch that as soon as we're done. Hey, I was just playing along. Yeah, right. Perfect. I know. I'm the one that threw me off, not you. Come on, keep the riff going, Karen. And Rufo says, I just drew my first two Intarsia designs while watching this. Oh, fantastic. The food isn't ready yet, so waiting longer to eat. Very, very cool. Can't wait to see what you do. And there's been an Intarsia cabbing machine on Marketplace down here for a while now. Ooh, Ken, is it like beguiling you? Come play, Ken. Yeah. And if you don't have an Intarsia proper cabbing machine, flat lap and your saw. That's how I do it. And it works just fine. So that should be great. I would love to see that. And I think that everybody on here is on the Discord. If you're not, you can totally join our Discord and play shows and tells and catch up to everybody who is about to drop a video or do a live. All that information is over on our Discord. And if one of the wrenches might be so kind as to fetch the link for that, it would be really cool to see anybody who's not on there already over there sharing all the good stuff. And we just got an influx of some new people, and so it's just getting more and more fun. I'm just so stoked to, when I get up in the morning, I love, like, with my morning coffee, catching up on the comments and everything. It's just a cool sandbox for us all to go and play in. This is a bouquet agate, like kind of like a floral. Instead of a plume, it's got floral designs, and so it has the tendency to be very botryoidal, and then it, like, kind of like how Crazy Lace gets set up. It does like the different floral patterns around the bots. And so these are two very small pieces that are nice, and they're going to be super fun to be like multi-stone pieces, but it gets super fancy. And so I promise you, I haven't been cutting and polishing cabs very much at all lately. And the reason why is because you guys know I'm over on the faceting machine like all the time. And so, like, the whole rest of everything kind of got, like, put in timeout, like a redheaded stepchild, the poor saw and the poor lapping. And so I'm back to doing some pieces because I love the combination, like I did for the Makers Challenge. I love putting the faceted stones in with the agates and the other kinds of stones, of course, opals and jaspers and yummy things like that. And so let's see. Just catching up here really quick. We've got a little bit of graveyard plume agate, and I isolated some pockets in some of the blue. Because you've got your Regency red, and then you've got like the stuff that has more of a blue tendency, and that has the tendency to have more dendritic uh, aspect to it, and then it also has the tendency to carry the marcasite. And I believe that the kind of greenish tint that we have in parts of this are the bits of marcasite doing a chemical valence, and then we have some really nice blue agate there. And so those are going to be an earring pair. to pair with something else. I'm almost thinking some Tabascos. I have some black and kind of bluish white crystals inside the little Tabascos. I think that might be a fun pairing. And then over here, I love, 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 love this guy right here. That's some of the Gary Green. There was like this weird kind of nub that was on the piece that Ken sent me. And so I cut that off, and off of the, like, just trying to true up the piece, like the specimen that I had, which is going to get sliced. I'll probably keep part of it together, but I'm definitely slicing some of it. So I cut the little like odd saw nub that was like kind of like a saw mistake off, and made this little set, these guys, which almost look, kind of like a varicite or turquoise. And then that little guy that just turned out so cool with the bullseye. And so they will definitely be becoming something. And the Gary Green already looks super. So there's an earring pair, and then there's like another, like, I don't know, something to pair with some other things for like a ring stone. The bullseye piece will probably get paired with a few other things for a pendant. And varicite, turquoise, Gary Green. We have actual green petrified wood, like all of those seem to the opal. So swing this guy over here, look at what a cool family of hue that is, just in and of itself. And so that's gonna be, a little mini collection unto itself, having paired with some varicite and some other cool things like that. And Rufo just posted the Intarsia designs to the Discord in the general chat. So definitely go check that out. Very, very cool. And Brian's saying Discord has so many rooms, I get lost in the hallway. Yeah, I totally hear that. And thank you so much, Allison, for popping up the link to the Discord. And the flat lap with a straight edge guide rail is great for Intarsia. Yeah, totally. And so, yeah. And Rufo, I need to make you into a mod. He said, I can't share because I'm not a mod. And I said this last time. I'm always StreamYarding. And so one of these times I have to pull up the YouTube stream and not echo just long enough that I can make you into a mod. So I promise I'll do that. Bob Hicks is in the house. Good to see you. Thank you so much for coming. And Brian says that they have the attention span of a gnat. So yeah, hanging out in the hallway, chasing gnats and bunnies and fried chicken, right? All right. Okay. And so that is that. And so we can thank you so much for playing with the calves with me, you guys. That was a guilty pleasure. I just, was that selfish? I really wanted to see those since they just came off, like I said. And so we're gonna reorganize this a little bit and get into the scope. And oh yeah, there's gotta get rid of the light. There we go. All right. And so we have this that happened.
Okay, here are my tools, and this could go either way. This could be cool, or it could be a total tragedy. We've got this guy on this side and still have the tail to uncover, and I was just practicing on that since it's, partial, although it's still pretty cool. And then that little guy, and we're just uncovering this, but we had that cleave off. And so because that's broken around this side like that, I figured we should just try to cleave it. I think that's what to do. And so I'm going to go ahead and do that. Let's see how this goes. Lots of cracks in this piece.
So this is what I did earlier, and I made this little video, you guys. So there's not two Karens. This is me trying to tell the story while I'm cracking away at this rock.
Yeah, it wants to do it.
This is always really
We'll see
nerve-wracking.
what cracks first, this or the whole rest of the fish, huh?
And this is what happens in the yard when when you're at the quarry too.
Sorry.
You might have something that is really great, and you can totally break it right there, which is it's just devastating. How many of you guys out there ended up, yeah, Karen Inception? You guys roll your spinny things and see where you are with this. How is
weird.
Karen typing with both her hands on screen? Yeah, right. I'm a quadrupus, right? Where was I? Oh, I was asking you guys who got Kemmerer fossils that they get to play with. I'd love to know. Two Karens would be too cool. I don't know. That would be a crazy train. Lots of trouble. Getting a double dose.
Flaky.
Oh, Andrew's in the house. Good to see you. Thanks for coming,
Super
Andrew.
flaky.
Okay, so say goodbye to
So
that
dodgy.
that fish face that I prepped so
See how
nicely.
much more we can cleave from this side.
Yeah, Shiva Karen.
Messy too.
I don't even know how many arms I've got. Thank you, Tiger Eye. Thank you. I'm glad that you enjoyed the cabs. Could have gone either way. Yeah, Jenny. We didn't collect that much. And so when we go back, Jenny, I will make sure to collect some just for you. This isn't previously. Oh, that part. Yeah. Okay. I get it.
Look at that.
Oh, so close.
Oh, that was part of this guy. Ah, see? Tragedy.
Tragedy.
Oh, and that guy's fallen off.
His face fell off.
Oh my gosh. Total massive amounts of tragedy going on here. Wow. Oh no. All right, well.
Right. Right, this. Kid? Oh, it's so sad when it happens. Your heart just goes straight to your heels. I am telling you. Humans should have a chest arm too. Boot. That's great. Okay, Bob, I will. Thank you so much. I will definitely do that. Oh, you got one for Ken too to do. Yeah.
Guarantees.
I think Ken was saying Lisa that he was going to be doing his today. So, I mean, if you've got a piece that you like, don't keep on trying to cleave pieces off of it because you might break it. But I figured I didn't have that much to lose because that face that I had uncovered, there we go, was not that much. And so you can see the face up there.
That guy will have a head. So we do have this.
So we get another face.
Looks like... a couple layers of fish there. Wow. So we'll have a little headless guy on this side with a tail, and no tail with the head on this side. Several layers of fish there. Ugh. Jeez.
Yeah, Jeff. A flathead screwdriver is a great tool.
There we go.
It's just the luck of the draw. This had so many different layers. It wanted to cleave in a lot of different places, and the reason why is that there's that many layers of potential fish bearing stuff. Like this one, unfortunately. Okay, so just in this, I don't think you guys can see the cursor on the StreamYard when I'm not sharing a screen. Can you guys see this, the cursor? Tell me if you can. I don't think you can. At any rate, down at the corner of the right-hand side, you can see that there's a little dark patch there. And we'll look at it underneath the microscope, but that is another fish. And so this, unfortunately, and fortunately at the same time, has lots of layers of fish. And so it wants to cleave off on the different layers. And that makes it really difficult to like try to isolate, okay, well, what part of it does it want to break on? Is like wanting to break all over the place. Frankenfish, yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay, so you guys aren't seeing my cursor, but you add a description. You guys can see it's on the right side. It's the bottom right. You can just see a little bit of brown peeking through. And we'll, like I said, we'll go ahead and change over to the microscope. And there we go. Okay, so right now we're looking at the body of the one with no face. It's not even eyes without a face. It's a body without a face yet. Which is, a small victory for me because for some reason, the luck of the draw was like I just kept on getting faceless fish out of faceless fish. I was excited about the one face that I did have, which is on this same piece up here. I uncovered it, but we lost half of it. But I was so excited because I wanted to see a face. I was like, oh, this fish has a face. Yay. But this guy definitely has a face under there unless we ruin it right now, which we're going to try. Not to ruin it, but we're going to try to get it out of there. And then the same piece, this is the other half. And what's cool about this is that it actually, look at that. We have the tail. And so the tail isn't going to show on this one. It cleaved away. Where did it cleave away to? This side. And so that's kind of the luck of the draw. And if you cleave them in half, then you have like a break zone that goes one way or the other. If you don't cleave them in half and you go in from the top, kind of like Mam Lambo uncovers his fish, then you're more likely to get the whole fish. And so, there's like the two things. Do I go the one way or do I go the other way? And which way is gonna maybe get me the spoils I'm looking for? And Andrew is saying that he's always wanted to try this, and I do recommend. Like, I am not sure when Theo is going to do another auction, but I know he's got tons of fish. And so he's probably going to share more that will be projects for other people to do at home, which would be really cool. Or you can always, yeah, I'm so sorry about that, Jeff. Like I just taught the big earworm out, didn't I? But yeah, otherwise maybe see if you can get on out there to the Kemmerer quarry in Wyoming. And if you can't get it from Theo and you can't get it from going there yourself, then I think I got these guys. I went to the American Fossil Quarry in Kemmerer and dug these myself, or cracked them anyway. You don't have to dig them. They bulldoze the quarry, and then you get to play around with the boulders therein. I'm pretty sure American Fossil also has like kits or whatever that you can get. And so I do hope that you get your time to try. And so any poop inside? Yes. Actually, Boot, let's see. Let's go over to the poop, shall we? Take a little walk. I'm gonna come on over here. There you go. There's you some poop. And another piece of poop fell out. And so since this isn't what we're going for, we can just get right on in and have a look. We'll have a close look at this poop. There. Huh. Is it poop or is it something even better? There's something to that, but it only looks like it looks isolated to just this little region. I don't think there's any more of it. Huh. That's really interesting actually. Looked like poo from afar. That is some rather bony poo, but it looks like the bones or the texture is too regular. I don't know. Well, maybe there's lots of bits of something in there. What do you guys can weigh in? What do you think? What do you think this is? Let's improve our exposure on this, shall we? Um, okay, let's do this. Maybe lighten it up a little bit. Oh, that's feels like wants to be like that. How about a little more contrast? What are we looking at? I mean, that could be poop with, scales and bones and things like that in it. We're supposed to be taking apart the fish and we're like in the poop. Oh, and Kid Curry. Now I have Billy Idol with his putty knife dancing with his Kemmerer rock. You're gonna have weird dreams tonight, Kid Curry. They don't want their face on camera. Yeah, they're shy, Jenny, huh? Show me the poop, says Allison. Fish coprolite. Yeah. Yeah, probably. They say that the coprolite record that, they give you this wonderful tutorial that guy up there. I think you guys can see cursor now. That's really interesting. That little bit. And that could just be some uh scale, or could be something even more interesting. Almost makes me want to kind of poke around in this, because those could, like, all those brown shinier bits could be just scale, but look at how kind of regular that is. Huh. But yeah, it's got some fun bits in it. Poop, but not fish, something bigger. Yeah, okay, so Lisa gets me back on track. Thank you, Lisa. Um, uh, yeah, give you this tutorial about what things you might find in the quarry so that you know what you're looking for, or you know what you're looking at, so you don't just toss it out if it's something that you want. And they go over the poop and they show you what stingray poop looks like. They show you what the gator poop looks like. They show you what the turtle poop looks like, so that, okay, well, this is, they show you what the different scales look like, so that you kind of have an idea. Although, honestly, I can't tell you what we're looking at, other than that we're pretty darn sure it's coprolite, just not entirely sure what kind. Predator poop. Yeah, possible fins. So Cynthia is in the house. Woohoo. Hey, Cynthia, did you get any of these? And she says also potential rib cage here too. Yeah, it's so tempting to want to kind of dig around in this. I heard poop and had to come and see. Ken, I'm sorry. I know, like, poop is always so engaging, right? Gem Spirits is in the house. Thank you so much for joining us. And they say, I like everyone's passion for fossils. You all are awesome. Thank you, Gem Spirits. We cannot help ourselves here. A lot of fecal talk going on in here, says Jeff. Yeah. We definitely seem to have that always on our tongue, which kind of sounds bad. There's always a bigger fish. That's right, Ken. Yeah. And then a bigger fish, and then a bigger fish than that. I know. And Jeff really wanted to say the other word. Yeah, talking. Yeah, that. Fossil fecal folks. Thank you, kid. Love it. Fecalite. Yes, Jeff. Carp. Oh, carp. Yeah. Someone lost there. Yep. Yeah, just use the emoji like Ken did. I love it. Jeff, I think you found a massasaur tooth on your video. Wow, that's cool. Oh my gosh, Jeff, I'm gonna have to go check out your video big time. Um, wow. What am I reading, Boot? What is what is this even? I don't know if I want to say that out loud. What is it? Explain. Cynthia says, bought one to prep. Oh, very cool. Do not have it yet. Oh, Cynthia, I'm so excited. We're going to have to play dueling microscopes, eh? That'll be great. And folks are saying hi to everybody. And Jen Spirit says, very new to lives and the microzone. Well, welcome to the microzone. TM, thanks to Rocky Mountain Bear. Who else can hear Boot chuckle every time Karen says poop? Right? She said poo. Kind of looks the same as what you found on your live. Yeah, yeah, I know. Like it definitely. I never heard of. No, I haven't. Explain to me what that is, Jeff. Um, maybe we just don't have a whole lot of that around here. I don't know. um Okay, so while everybody's like bringing me up to the minute on what things are and what they mean, yeah, we're super happy to have you here. Thank you for joining us, all of you. Uh, we have so who wants to poke around in the poo a little bit? Really quick, I'm going to switch. Okay, so. Whoa. Maybe that's too hard. Maybe I just do this for a second. There are some simple tools that you guys can use. And to take the overburden off, I used this. Look at how simple, like this is not an expensive tool. It's like one of those engravers, and it's just a little electric engraver. Nothing's fancy. This thing rules with the Kemmerer fossils. This is a great tool to take the overburden away. It just flakes off, and so you stay away from the really tender bits, and just go to town with that until you're close, and then stop. Um, Stop before you mush something that's really important. A lot of people like to use an X-Acto knife. And Kyle uses a pen holder with like an actual pin, like the kind you would use for sewing type, needle or a pin inside a holder to excavate. And I really like to use this is a titanium solder pick. And they come in 3 packs. I think this one's from Pepe Tools. But they're available over on Rio Grande or any place where you buy your tools for jewelry. And these are awesome. And what I love about this is that with some 600 sandpaper, not only can I get it clean, but I can get it as sharp as I want. And so I usually do a little preparation, because while I'm doing the other things in my studio, like soldering the Makers Challenge together, I might have my solder pick degrade a little bit, and so I'll go ahead and give it a nice clean with the 600, and I'll have it be nice and sharp. And if you have diamond the silicone diamond wheels, that's also a really, really good way to just go on your Fordham flex shaft, and your tool is ready to go. And so let's get this bad boy back up here and do this thing. Oh, no, that's not what I wanted. Add to stage. There, that's what I wanted. And so here we are back with this, and I'm going to, let's see, mess with the exposure again. I kind of liked it darker when we got started. Whoa, not that dark though. Yeesh. Let's just bring it down a little bit, give you guys Because like when it's so washed out, you can see, but then you don't see the topography very well. And so another thing that I think I'm over here giggling at myself. Good, good, Jeff. What does the solder pick do, Kid Curry? We're gonna see right now. Okay, that's what I thought we were talking about, Jeff. Jenny, missing a tip. Okay, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. I'm glad everybody's staying very entertained. So what I can do here really quick is get a little something something. Let's not play it very loud. There we go. Little background music because I'm gonna be digging around, but I'm gonna keep on checking with your guys' comments. Let's just look a little bit in the poo, and then we'll move on to the bones. So, kid, here's the solder pick. That's the tip of that solder pick that I was just showing you guys. Look at how big it looks. And that's why I like to have it sharp. And by the way, I think we're just at, we're almost as far out as you can go. Like, I don't know, maybe at about 15x, maybe starting to cruise towards 20x as far as our magnification that we're looking at right now to give you an idea. I should get a, I promise to get my little scale out, that a calibration tool, so that you can see how many millimeters and that sort of thing. Actually, I should have calipers around here somewhere I could lay next to it so that you guys know how big this is. As I'm knocking everything over. Let's see if this works out at all. Wow. See how, like, okay, so there's millimeter marks right there. You know, of course not. There we go. And so, like, our little globule of poop here is looking like it's, you know, approaching 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 or 9, maybe just shy of a centimeter long or so. So anyways, there's your scale for you. You can see how easy this like just flakes. Let's get closer. That I'm picking on, I'm wondering if I'm picking on something that you guys can even see. Can you? I was working, where was I working? Right there. Yeah, you can see that a little bit far to the side. So I was just trying to, I'm poking around, just trying to see if this stuff is just moving around. Then it's super duper extra double poo. If it's like the carapace of something, then I would get down to something. And so that's why I'm just kind of flaking the overburden of it around. It feels like stuff is just moving around. So it does feel like I'm just moving stuff in the poo, breaking it up, basically. I'm just breaking up the log. Let's see. So Jeff is saying I was going to use a straight pin to prep mine. I don't have all those fancy tools. A straight pin is great. And like if you did see what Kyle is doing with getting like a holder for your pin, or if you can craft a holder for your pin, then I think that is nice, because then you've got purchase on your tool, like, a longer handle at the very least would be kind of nice, I think, to have. What did I get for Easter? Not much, just watched Karen poke at ancient poo, right? Everybody's dream on Easter. That's hilarious. Not now, Mom, we're poking at poo. I love it. The chat on TV is right over your work spot. Okay. Yeah. So I slid it over. Hopefully that's going to be better. I put it in the middle. Thank you though. I really appreciate the feedback, because I want to make sure that everybody gets the view. I hate it when, you're trying to do something and you find out like, oh no, actually that was off camera. Total YouTube folly there. Jeff, get one of Vicky's quilting straight pins. They're longer and some have bigger heads, easier to hang on to. Yeah, nice. Or like I said, you can even drill a holder hole into, a dowel or something like that. And, you could set it with something as easy as the gallery putty that we use, to like stand a crystal up if you're trying to show off a specimen, all the way through to like actually gluing, a big needle or something like that into, say, a dowel or something. It's just kind of nice to have a handle, especially knowing that you're going to use it. You're going to use it more than just like for flaking away a few pieces of poo off. Now, I was thinking I needed some. Oh yeah, I need a brush. So keep on staring at the poo and talking amongst yourselves. BRB. Oh no. All right. And let's see, let's do. Another thing is that I had a little a semi moment of potential smart, and so when you get to where you're at right now with your project, you'll be making some flakiness happen, and you'll want to clear it without clearing everything, all the material that you want to have stay there, like the little fish bones that we're about to work around on the Nidia that we exposed when I cracked that rock for you guys. That is really fragile, and so you can use like a little paintbrush, or I was on the beach and I was looking around and I was like, oh, feathers might be a really, really good thing to brush some of this away with. My mom used to use it when she had to clear the acid bubbles off of her etchings when she had it in the acid bath. And so we're going to check this out. Okay, feather for the win. I like it. Okay, and Love Faith is here in the house. Good to see you. She says she's been lurking and loved the necklace. Oh, thank you so much, Love. I really, really appreciate the the feedback. And Bob's Rock says, or drill a rock handle like Chris made. Yes. And thank you, Cheryl. Show some love by hitting that like button. Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate that. All of y'all, I really do. Yeah, and those of you who have commented on the video and I haven't commented back yet, I'm doing stuff like this. And so I'm going to get to replying to everybody's comments. I really, really appreciate all of them so much that you left on the Makers Challenge project and for our live recap as well. And so I'm getting to those comments. Sasha. Okay. You seeing it? Okay, so as we're, oh, Bob, thank you so much. I'll go towards powering the epidemic soundtrack that you guys are hearing right now. Thank you for what you do, Bob. I really, really appreciate that. Happy Easter, love. That's sweet. Benjamin saying, we used to own a historic bar in Wyoming that was frequented by Kid Curry. Oh my gosh, Harry Longabaugh, Butch Cassidy, and later Amelia Earhart. No way, really? That's so cool, Benjamin. Again, thanks, Bob. Really, really appreciate that. You guys are awesome for keeping the discussion going. Now, here's a thing. So you can see the little green box in the center where I was working, and do you see how I'm getting down to what doesn't look like the white of the stone anymore, but it looks like something? Like I'm a little scared that we are up against a carapace. That, or else I'm just compressing it into being that color. I'm not sure. But do you guys mind if I just poke at this potential poo just for a few more? Because it looks like it might be kind of has a little bit of a regular. Oh my gosh. love showing the love. Look at that. Thank you so much, Rock Fam Love. And you rock too, love. All the lovingness going on. Thank you. I really, really appreciate that so much. You guys are awesome. And I never know what to say other than just like goo on and on. You like the poo music, Jenny? Nice. And Spot has a good tip here. Thanks again, love. Really, really appreciate it. Let's see what we've got here. If anyone wants to affix a handle to a pin for this, don't glue or resin it to the handle. Use a friction fit instead. Over time, the pin will give or bend or dull, and you will want to replace it. And I think that's wonderful. So, how does that smell? Jeff wondering. I can't smell it, and it could be because I've been working with this weird dust. And wear a mask. I'm not wearing a mask right now, but I'm doing such small work. But like with the big work earlier, I was wearing a mask, and I still feel a little like verklempt from it. And I loved what Jeff was saying earlier. Like, you can tell when somebody's like looking at you because they're looking at the camera, or if they're looking at themselves. And I oftentimes am looking at myself just to make sure there aren't bats in the cave, if you know what I mean. So I actually got like a chuckle out of that when you were talking about that earlier today on your live. Yeah, if you catch myself watching me, it's because I'm checking to make sure that I don't have like something in my nose or some weird thing on my face. Don't poke the poo. Stop poking. Keep on working. Okay, so I will. Just catching up really quick on the comments here. Yes, you can hear. We're gonna like switch to maybe something different. Here's that. We'll keep on switching the styles like in a totally truly schizophrenic way until maybe everybody's musical inclination might be tickled a little bit. Thank you. Cheryl's pointing out that we got 34 likes. Awesome group of people. Thank you so much. Really, really appreciate you all. You're all wonderful. You all rock. Poke the poo, but use the tiny plunger, okay? Yeah. I know, I need a teeny weeny little plunger. And Kid Curry says poke the poo is like a good punk band name. Yeah. We always thought our all bass band should be called Chum Truck. So maybe Poke the Poo can be the opening act. We're getting the band together, guys. All right, so gonna go back in. Part went away. That's too hard. It was delicate. What are we looking at? I think that might go back down in there a little bit and have some stuff. I don't know. Or it's just fancy poo. But whatever it is, it's like definitely hard. And it goes down in there. Like there's more of it. Let's see, there's that. You guys can't see. Oh, you can maybe see the edge. You bring that to the center. Working. You can see the difference in the material. Like this, either hard poo or something else. And then this is the soft other stuff. Let's get that a little bit better into focus. There we go. And there's our edge. Caviar, turtle. Is some Turtle Montana's here. Just catching up, guys. Oh my gosh, someone found a tapeworm trapped in amber. That is crazy. Can you even imagine? Oh, yeah, like it's got an interesting edge to it. And so, yeah, who knows what's going on here? Well, it's interesting. The little bits that are inside, like that one that's very, very dark in the screen right now, they do break apart if you attack them. If you attack them too hard. Karen's school of experimentation going on right there. Not sure. I can't, like, I would say it's probably coprolite, and that's like a piece of bone or tooth or some such thing that is in there right now. And yeah, I'm gonna keep on going with that, but like at another time, because I did want to uncover this fish's face. Um, been dying to do that, and so let's pull out a bit, get back to this, go over here. And that is what we're going to address. And this is going to be a lot more like what you guys like. We went to go see Karen working on a fish, and all she did was play in the poo. But this is more like what you're going to be doing. And so maybe bring up the exposure again on this. And so we have this this amount of kind of the overburden. You've got this little bit, and it's not very thick. It's less than a millimeter, it looks like, and it will literally flake off. But so too does part of the soft tissue, that you can see this beautiful glassiness. And we'll take a tour of the fish here under the microscope in a second also, because that's really, really fun to see, obviously. And so we will we'll flake away at the face a little bit, and then when I need to take a break, we'll take a nice tour, nice and close up of all the meaty bits of the fish, and then hopefully be able to wrap it up. Let's see. Tapeworms, hands down the best diet I've ever tried. Nice, turtle. sounds a little dodgy. Baby crab leg, right, Bob? Something cool like that. Some kind of boniness going on in there. We're all weird. That's why we are here. Yeah, right, Spot. And why we keep on coming back. Help us. That's great. Okay. Yeah, and so I'm gonna go ahead and throw some tune on, and we'll fleck away. These are little itty bitty flakes like pie crust, and you'll see when you get yours, or if you're not working on one, very, very much like kind of a blend between the flakiness of pie crust with the consistency of chalk, and then it can be sticky in areas. And so it's kind of weird, but it can be. Some pieces are easier than others. Some of them are really, really flaky and easy, and other ones are sticky and a little bit more difficult. And they all break in different ways, just different parts of the quarry doing different things. And so we'll get this kind of going. She's going in. You can see parts of the flesh and the bone actually coming up. There's like no way around it because half of it comes up on one side and half of it is still there, kind of like when you saw the half split. Loving the feather. Feather is good. Gonna mess with the how close we are again. Can you guys see okay? That focus for you though. There we go. So let's do that. And you guys are seeing that, you know, the bits are coming out, and you can see like how the, it actually almost explodes. You know, you crunch a part of it and it just explodes on you. See. It's a little overexposed for you guys. Let's work that for a second here. And I have completely lost track of the chat, so hopefully you guys are all enjoying talking amongst yourselves. We'll bring it out here for a second, and it's helpful to be in that close for me, but you can see what's going on here. We're about to get to the eyes. And so we've, you know, you can see the whiteness of where we were. And so we've uncovered like actually a fair amount already. I know that up so close it's hard to see how quickly we're going, but it's really helpful to be able to look at it that good. Wow, we've got some super cool parasite conversation going on. Cool. All right. I'm done. I'm gonna get us closer too. So I promise. We'll go back and forth so that you guys can see where we're at. Oh yeah, nice when it hits a big flake like that. Kind of a relief. And if damage is going to happen, it just does. There's no way to not lose a little bit. So don't get too nervous. Don't get too nervous about like losing a little bit, because you know it's impossible to not have some of it come up with the matrix material. Oh yeah. Blam. Woo. Oh, that's a little nerve-wracking right in there. When stuff starts to fall apart really fast, we zoom out for you to see where we are. So, like the features of face are just coming out later, Jeff. Thank you for coming. Yeah, and so it's like at like the tender place right now for sure. Going in. Get overzealous, and that's what happens. Phew. So, actually, let's do a pan out. Is everybody still here? Let's go out here. And that's what we're looking at right now. And so you can see we're into the nitty-gritty. We're right there. We're at eye socket and jaw and all the goods, and we lost a little section of bone, which was a bummer. But let's take a little tour real quick. Thank you. Rib cage kind of stings a bit. Oh, I'm glad that you guys are enjoying watching it. It is crazy fun to do for sure. And so I'm just going to move along a little bit so you can kind of get some reference as to what we're looking at. And so some really nice preservation, like I said, of the soft tissue, and there's the rib cage, and you can get even closer. What I think is really fun about these is that you can see so much detail. You can see where the scales were, the yellowing in the region of those ribs is that's the overlay of uh the scales, and you can see the regularity of them. You start seeing that detail, and it's just stunning that we can see that in such an old specimen, that they're this well preserved. um let's see, I think I'm getting caught up again. Is that a fish, a hairy fish? Yeah, red fish, blue fish, hairy fish, scaly fish. And so this is a Nidia. Yeah. And I just think it's so neat to see these details so close up as we move along, that all of these delicate parts got preserved so well. Yeah, there's a really, really nice, you can see the scales so well through this bit here. Look at that. How amazing is that? Let's see if I can clarify a little bit. There we go. Wow, you can see the texture. The lighting is picking up on the texture of it. That's just mind blowing to me. And this just, you guys watched it come away. This was up until a couple of hours ago. In that video was when this got opened up. So this wasn't opened up on the quarry. This was just opened up hours ago. And so this is how fresh this fossil has been to air. Like since however, like what is it, 50 million years ago, they say for this fossil bed, I believe. And um this is the first light of day that this fish has seen since then. Let's see. Hairy fish in the microzone of Oregon. Yeah, we need to make that Ken, let's write the write the book. That would be super cool. Um just getting caught up, like I'm saying, my phone stand is great on a hard surface, but it's going to be another mod to make it as good on a padded software surface. I get you, boy. um these things are very, very important. Bear, that's a millipede with very long legs, yeah. And scales. The dark color is bone, and what is the light lines opposite the ribs? So we have uh, probably some of the ribs are displaced, so there could be that. And then also the fins, you can see the fin material. That's a great question. Where did that go? Here we go. Let's pop that up. Um, so if we're looking around, see what the rib bones look like. And they take on a couple different colors and features. Some of them went away with the opposite. And so we're seeing the impression, and some of them we're seeing the actual ribs. And so there's that going on. Some of them have been broken and displaced. You can see down in here how, some of them are disarticulated. And so that could be some of the like golden sinewiness that you're seeing. Some of it is fins. So, if we're in a fin region, then some of that fin could have done that. Some of these have broken off and are in the other plate. And so we're seeing positive and we're seeing negative. So some of the golden striations could also just be the negative of either fin, or the rib is I think the answer to your question, unless you're talking about those beautiful, beautiful I just cannot get over how cool the scales are. And so let's zoom on the scales really quick. Let's see how close can we get to the scales and bring that all into focus. Because what I think is also interesting about fish scales is that they almost look like fingerprints when you get them underneath a microscope. And so uh, how cool is it that we're seeing like the fingerprint of this particular fish? That's just such a mind blow. The fish died choking on a millipede, says Rocky. Yes. By Jove, I think you've got it. Um, the Eocene period, according to Google. Okay. Uh, spot, LOL, Karen, first light of day for the fish, and I didn't get out much. And I thought it didn't get out much, yeah. Would that be Finland? But of course. Oh, those Finnish people. I know. Where's Kiersey? Actually, I'm gonna do a thing. Let's see. Okay. 50 million years ago, ancient fossil lake existed in southwest Wyoming. And of its estimated maximum extent of 930 square miles, approximately 500 square miles of sediments remain. The 230 square miles across the center of the ancient lake bed contain exceptionally fossiliferous sediments and are associated geologic features include deltas, beaches, springs, and rocks from center and near shore environments. And so this is the write-up that you get from the American Fossil. and it just it goes over what uh, some more details, and then it also has a cheat sheet of the different fish, the ones that are the most common, so that you can go, okay, yep, we got a Nidia up in here, or whatever what you might be looking at turns out to be, because I'm pretty sure that's what we got. But you know what? It's not always. And so, at any rate, the more that we uncover, the more we shall know what little guy it is that we're looking at. Did you hear about the fossilized human brain that they found? No. Did they really? I mean, the soft stuff is so hard to find. The soft stuff is hard. That yeah, that's really impressive that they were able to find something that was um, that remains. Was it so it's a fossilized human brain? Was it like it's not mummified? It's not like a mummy thing, or oh, do tell. Dead serious. Should be able to Google it and find the article. Wow, that is super cool. Okay, one more deep dive into the skeleton with all of the very, very beautiful bits of um, scale that we can see. Really, really nice. Look at the verts. So cool to see verts that are articulated. I find so many verts on the beach that it's cool to see a whole set together still. And that's, boy, we sure can get close, can't we? Yeah, you can see this is really flaky material. Look at how flaky that is. Again, it's just getting oxidized for the first time. It's only hours old. It's just kind of a mind blow, and you can see it just wants to crackle. Really, really flaky stuff. So actually, I should cover really quick right now, although I think we did have a discussion on uh, one of the podcasts, and then I think on Kyle's uh, live or somewhere. Boy, we all get around. I don't know where we were, but we were together, and we were talking about how to finish the preparation here. And so Theo talked me into getting some Mod Podge. And you can, after you're done, you can either brush it on, which I don't want to move those little bones around too much. And so he recommended doing like a misting with the Mod Podge, and you just water it down and you put it into a spray bottle that does a pretty darn good job of like creating mist and not making it too drippy. And you spray it on once you get all of those little you can see right now, since I've been chipping away at it, it's messy. I've got, like, see those chips there and there and there and there. You want to dust this bad boy off and make sure that, everything that is extra that you don't want kind of glued in is gone. And so you can use the Mod Podge. You can use something that is matte finish, or you can use something that will give it a bit of a gloss. And I know that actually Elmer's white glue is totally accepted in the community for being a good glue to use on your specimen. So it doesn't have to be paraloid B72. The thing that is nice about the paraloid B72 is it's archival. And so, it's not going to yellow or become weird in the years to come. It's like museum quality. And then also you have um, uh, the ability to rework it. And so what Thea was saying, because I was like, oh, so do you preserve it as you go along, kind of like you would with one of our marine specimens? And he's like, well, no, because like that's going to make the surrounding matrix all gluey and sticky, and you do not want to do that to yourself. You want to keep it as flaky as possible. You can see me trying to flake these pieces off, and so you can glue or treat the parts that are exposed as you're going along, but keep it before the margin of your matrix so that you don't get the matrix infused with the glue, because it'll start, becoming too sticky, and it will make uncovering the fossil a lot harder, or possibly impossible. Possibly impossible. So um, we'll go ahead and continue. I thought the watered down Elmer's was for the limestone. I just watched Kyle's video on it yesterday again. Yeah, I think that you can use it on the specimen itself, like doing a brush on or a spray on, if you want to seal your fossil from going the way of oxidation, and at some point, unless you're putting it into a shadow box, you're going to need to dust it off. And so sealing it is not mandatory at all, but is an option. And if you are going to go that route, you can use any of those preservation modes, like the white glue, the Mod Podge, the B72, and I'm trying to think of what else people have told me that they use. If you break it in half, then yeah, the Elmer's glue was supposed to be also the best way to glue it back together. And Kyle showed how he used some of the powder. You make a lot of powder, obviously, if you're flaking away a prep. So save some of that, because if for some reason you get like a break that happens, or if it comes broken to you, sadly, then just glue it back together, and you can use some of that powder to fill in the cracks so that it looks like it didn't break. So let's see. And yeah, Brian got the gold leaf one. Goldfishy. Yeah. And so with that, I'm going to put the actual music back on, because, okay, what did she just make us listen to? And then gotta get closer, guys. Actually, that's good for me. I'm gonna change the camera so that you guys can see that better, because there we go. That way we can all see.
Oh, watch out. There we go. Gads. It's coming. So you see the technique is to take the crumbling top parts of the pie crust away until it's very, very thin over the top of the subject, and then go ahead and see if you can gently crack that last little crust. It's very, very thin, you know, like a tenth of a millimeter, that will finally just lift off of the top. There. Okay, before that starts over again, let's do this one.
That's what's going on. We're almost there. It's like, it's fish. Why the long face? There. That's a better reference. It was upside down. Definitely easier to work going up than coming down, though. I have to turn it back around. Whew, that's a lot. Whole plate blue. That'd be the end of our fossil right there. Here. I wonder what his name is. What do you guys think? Got a little bit more to excavate around the outside, but you know, for brevity's sake, let's see. I've like completely lost track of the chat also. Yeah, here's our guy, and let me give him a little bit. Let's see. That's as far out as we can go. so you can see his full face. Get you a little bit more of everything, because you guys, you deserve everything. There, that kind of, he was up a little high. It's nice to see, what you're doing. So it was helpful to have him super bright. But there we go. Really an interesting looking little guy. See, caveman cuisine at its finest. Thank you, Rocky. Right? And it looks like some folks have been going to bed. I don't imagine that wouldn't put y'all to sleep in some way or another. So those of you who did find it totally somnambulistic, then cheers and good night. Um, Yep, Andrew, rocking in Kentucky, and that feather works wonderfully, doesn't it, Rocky? Like that was just a really interesting kind of. Hey, what about that? Mom used to use those when it was so delicate what she had to do with the zinc plates in the acid bath with all these little lines that she was trying to etch for her artwork. And the feather was like the thing. She used to pay us to go find her a bunch of feathers on the beach. And so, yeah, awesome. And so, definitely, let's see. I was touching, this is a question. That feather works wonderfully. Do you touch it to the fossil or just wave it over the fossil? I was actually touching it ever so slightly. And you'd see, even in the picture right now that you guys are looking at, you can see the little brown bits. So little brown bits would lift off, but it did the least amount of damage. My paintbrushes, even the sables, were a little bit too much. And so it seems like a feather is a good way to go. What a face, right? What a good looking face. It looks like it's trying to take a little gulp of air before going night night itself. Kind of a closed face. Some of the ones that I have found, like that one that broke, or was it the one before that, had like, this kind of gaping, like it got slack jawed as it got compressed. And so it's kind of interesting to see they actually have different expressions as they're going to bed. A fishapede. Yeah, nice, Jenny. Oh, Allison says his name is Filet. I love it. We'll call him Phil, right? Filet. Absolutely brilliant. I love it, Phil. Yeah, Rocky was there right away. Nice. I love it. Kirk, good to see you. It was cool what I caught. Thanks, Karen. Let's get together to trade. Yes, I am very, very excited to meet up with you, Kirk. We'll have to figure out something here in the very, very near future. All right. And so I do have, let's see, I've got the little guy here. And so that's what we were working on. Let's see, that's the face. Whoa. That's the face that was going on it before. And you could see this was like a definite multi-fish plate. It's funny. Get all turned around. There we go. And I was kind of bummed with, and that's our poop that we were looking at is right here. And the tail went away with the piece that was on the other side. So let's bring that into play here. There's its other half, sadly. It's nice when if you're gonna get it to break, it's so nice when they break more on one side and have all the bits instead of leaving some of the bits on the other. So I'm probably gonna uncover that with the tail. So we'll have a little bit of a headless horseman, the other half of Phil on this one, and actually he's going that way, right? And I'll have best friend fish because I'll give this one away, and then just keep this guy with the head. But I'll uncover the tail unless whoever gets it wants it to to practice prep on, which actually might be really fun. So maybe I'll figure that one out. And this is actually the fish that's, wow. How do I get it so it doesn't wash out so bad? That's the fish that's on the other side. Also another headless one, and also a one where I need to prep the tail out. And so that's kind of what's going on with this one. Is going to be a two-sided plate, and all of the stuff will be included for our the video that I will make on this guy. So because of the way that that one has its ribs formed, it's possible that this guy is a diplo because of that little spread in its ribs. I need to do more research, but it's kind of cool. Like there's like little factors that will over there show you what kind of little guy you are working with. And so I want to thank all of you for coming and hanging out for this weird pop-up Sunday evening live, where we got to go through some fun cabs that I just polished, and of course that fabulous fish. So neat to fossil prep. I like, it's so hard to stop, you guys. I'm using my better judgment and lots of self-control to just not keep on going. And I would like to thank you, Allison. Allison, are you still going live after this? Headless fish man might been even scarier than a headless horseman. Yeah. And so something for, the Mystery Science Theater, like that would be like kind of like an Ed Wood movie, right? The Headless Fish Man. Maybe that movie still needs to be made. But I'd like to thank all y'all for coming out. Those of you that are still here, and those that were here earlier, Jeff and Jenny and Rocky and Allison and Kirk and Ken, Phil A.O. Fish. Yeah, that's awesome. I love it. That's totally his name. Make a little engraving. Unless you TM'd that and yours gets to be that guy. Awesome. And Brian, thank you for being here. Cheryl, thank you so much. Bob, awesome times. Thank you for being here as well. Blind Squirrel Rocks. Really appreciate you. And let's see. Allison says it's going to be very, no. It'll be easier for you to follow me for sure. We get to go romp around in your meteorite case. Are you even kidding me? That's going to be super fun. Some of us might even stay in there and party all night long, in the cabinet. So watch out. You're inviting us in. That is the rule. Oh, Tomcat. Journeys. Thank you. Cheers to you. Thank you so much, and very safe travels. Thanks, Stein Karens. I really appreciate it. Good on you. And definitely travel safely. And oh, thank you so much, Cynthia. Really appreciate you too. Can't wait for you to do some playing. You're gonna have a blast with the microscope and fossils. And you guys all rock. Totally made my Easter Sunday just being able to hang out with you guys, talk rocks, hang out with the cool fossil, poke around in some poo. I mean, who doesn't love that on a Sunday? This is the best times ever. So we'll see you over at Allison's place right after this. Take care of yourselves. Cheers to you, yours, your families. I hope your blessings are all around you. And I will see you at the next live. Thanks again. Cheers. And me and Phil, we out.